on the Shelf. And I'm so excited to have Chanda Bell and Krista Pitts with us. How are you guys? And you know what? I have lived this Elf on the Shelf tradition. It has grown so much. And thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you for having us. It's a treat to be here.
Great to
Absolutely.
be here. Thanks, Neil.
So, as I was just saying, this marks the 20th anniversary of Elf on the Shelf tradition. How did this tradition start for you, and why do you think it has resonated with families around the world?
So, this tradition began for us in our home when we were little kids. My mom had an elf from her childhood, and she told us that that elf was watching during the day and reporting to Santa at night. And before we woke up in the morning, that elf had flown back from the North Pole and landed in a different spot in our house. So, growing up, it was the best part of our childhood, this hide and seek game, right? And then when I grew up, I wanted to start the tradition with my own family. And so my mom and I wrote the story, The Elf on the Shelf, based on our own family experience. And that was sort of the beginning. We couldn't get anybody to publish it. We had to, of course, work alongside Santa Claus to get the elves, right? And so that was the beginning of our journey and the company that we started, now known as the Lumistella Company.
Wow. Over the years, Elf on the Shelf has opened the door to an introduction of new character storylines, animated series, music, and more through Santaverse. How did you see this enchanted world continuing to evolve and connect with families year round?
Yeah, the Santaverse allows us to do that. So many people have come to know us through the Elf on the Shelf. And it's really through our hero brand that we've been able to introduce other characters. Kids started calling us and writing us and asking us questions about, does my elf have pets? If so, where are they? What are they doing? What do they eat? What do they like? What's happening at the North Pole? All the questions each of us have had about Santa and what happens at the North Pole, which is a 24/7 environment, right? The North Pole is there and it's active all the time. And so we now are able to lean into characters and stories. So, for instance, we have a brand new preschool show. It's called Scout Elf Squad, and it's a preschool program that's teaching amazing values, and it's got catchy music, and it also surrounds the basics, right? Your colors and your numbers and teamwork, the things that you want young children to hear and learn about. But that's just one piece of it. We also have our brand new book, The Rise of Nicholas the Noble, and that's a chapter book that's really the epic adventure of how Santa became Santa, that whole backstory. So it's through the Santaverse that we're able to lean into new characters like Nora, our magical Arctic fox that's actually going to be a balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And it really does become an opportunity for us to tell all of the stories of the North Pole, not just the stories of the Elf on the Shelf.
Very interesting. And Shanda, can you tell me a little bit about the rise of Nicholas the Noble?
Sure. So my background is as a middle school teacher. So I love literature. It's why all of our products come with a book. So families can understand how to participate in our traditions together. But The Rise of Nicholas the Noble is our first novel. It's the backstory of Santa Claus. It's how he meets all the elves and how he becomes magical. And at its heart, it's a story about a boy and its dog, but it also has really great themes about stepping into sort of this calling, and obstacle is the way, right? And how he's got to rise to this idea of nobility and what does that mean and what does his journey look like? Themes about, teamwork and friendship and belief. It's very much a fantasy adventure. So I would say in the vein of like a Chronicles of Narnia or a Harry Potter. I think anyone 9+ will absolutely love this book, The Rise of Nicholas the Noble, because I wrote the book that I would want to read. Of course, telling Santa's backstory, and the Elf on the Shelf is there as the narrator as well to have that sort of to seamless storytelling.
I also hear there's a new animated preschool series you were talking about already in this conversation, Scout Elf Squad. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so Scout Elf Squad is our new preschool show. much like everything we do working for Santa, we did it ourselves through Scout Elf Production, a production company that we started. And it's going to live on our YouTube channel, our official Elf on the Shelf YouTube channel. We are dropping a new episode every Monday, but it is teamwork and friendship and ridiculously catchy songs. And it's just really fun holiday entertainment. And I think it's something that really all ages will enjoy.
Yeah, and you have some incredible collaborations and partnerships this year. What are some of the ones you're excited to see come to life?
Well, if you are planning a trip this season, you can actually go to Beaches, where we have a partnership with Beaches, and you can rent the Elf on the Shelf suite. It's completely decked out with everything Christmas, everything Elf on the Shelf. And there are even butlers that make sure your elf is comfortable on its trip to and from the Caribbean. We've got a partnership with Basic Fun for Light Bright, because often the elf on the shelf will leave messages to their family. We also have a first of its kind luxury collaboration with Swarovski Crystal. They have a 20th anniversary edition elf on the shelf that's unlike anything you've ever seen before. The elf could not resist those Swarovski crystals, and it's completely bedazzled in all the best ways.
Wow, fantastic. Did you guys ever think when this started it would get this large? Seriously.
No, not ever. Really and truly, I mean, we had no idea. We had no idea what we were doing. We had no experience. What we knew is that we had a really special tradition, and that if people would just try it, they would love it. But it was just recently, I think roughly 6 years ago, where we started leaning into this whole idea of telling all the stories of Santa's
Right.
North Pole and all of the characters, and really listening to our fans and what they were wanting from us. But I think I would have been completely overwhelmed 20 years ago when we started this on my husband and I's credit card, and
Yeah.
Krista selling her house, to start this. And I think sometimes the journey really is necessary in order to prepare you for that next step that you're about to take.
I interview lots of authors on my show. And so I guess this is the dream of every author, to see something grow to this brand area. And you guys were all in. That's the key thing, right? And who do you think, what made the rise such a rise? Just your fans? What would you say?
Absolutely. Our fans, I think first of all, it's acts and steps of faith. You've got to be willing to do the things that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So for us, I think it was steps of faith. I think it was being authentic. I think things have to happen that are also outside of your control, where God has shined his favor upon you. And, in our case, paparazzi picked up the book when Jennifer Garner was walking down the street with it in 2007. And, the Today Show did an article or a segment on it. And these were back early days, like in 2007. And so those were things that we would have never imagined or orchestrated. But those are things that are necessary stepping blocks. And now, starting our own production company and things like that to lean into continuing to grow the brand.
Well, you're a lifestyle brand now. From a book to a lifestyle brand. Go figure. And you're doing it right by doing all those things, because that's the key. So best place where people can find you? Where's the best? People can check you.
elfontheshelf.com if you want to find out more about our products and blogs and ideas. We also have more information available on the entire Santaverse. So santaverse.com. And if you want to know more about our company that brings all of it to life, that's lumistella.com, Lumistella.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Happy holidays,
Thank
and
you
thank you
so
for
much.
coming.
So nice
You're
to meet
welcome.
you.